Sometimes I think to myself, you know what? This is not really working. So it's like, as a result, as the song goes, if at first you don't succeed, you got to love again. Just let me be. Let me be. Oh, oh. Hold, hold, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah. We're just going to keep doing this. And we want to get good numbers, you know? When I started doing handstands again recently, like, I couldn't even feel the connection to where it was like, I could even hold for a second. But now it's like little by little, I'm starting to feel it again. Because there was a time I remember when I was really practicing this. And like, I remember I used to sometimes hold for like well over a minute, you know? I'm talking about a minute and a half straight, which is 180 seconds, you know? So when you're doing that consistently, it's an awesome feeling because I'll show you, I'll demonstrate. And then you need to talk about it. I'll show you why. Hopefully I can have conversation while I'm actually maintaining a hold, okay? Let's see. Hold. Nope, nope. And this doesn't actually take a lot out of me to do. It's like I can recuperate really fast. So, but the whole thing about it is I want to be able to make sure Crystal, what's up? How you doing? Welcome. I want to be able to like do it to where, and welcome by the way, whoever's checking in. I want to be able to like feel it, you know, in my wrists, my shoulders, my hips, to where like I have utter control. I've been there before, but you know, like it takes practice, you know? So now in my head, it's like, Wolves, what's up? How you doing? Welcome, people. Today is, right after a snowstorm out here in New York. Today's a back day in the gym, real quiet, real discreet. And I pulled my groin. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's tough. So I have to be careful, like with what I do, and make sure like I don't overdo anything. But I'm going to do back today. But besides doing back, I want to make sure, because usually I do this when I'm pooped and like I have no energy. And I do it when I'm like totally worn out. But today I'm reversing it. I'm doing it at the beginning. So I'm kind of treating this like my warm up before I do any back. So I'm just going to keep doing, I've been at this for a while now. It's been like maybe a good 10 minutes. So I'm just going to keep doing this until usually when I hold it, I'm a little slower, I'm able to hold it better. But I gotta feel for it, you know? I gotta feel and grab it. Because when I lock it in properly, I know I can hold it. Like I got a good grip. I mean, grip, when I say grip, I mean like my body, like my center mass, my balance, everything is locked in. And it's like, boom, I know I could hold this for at least 20, 30, 40, 50, a minute or more, you know? And that's what I mean by let's get to practicing. Because back, when we do back, it's like, okay, well, I mean, we're just gonna do top, middle, and bottom, right? So we're gonna do upper back, we're gonna do lats, we're gonna do middle back, we're gonna do lower back. And there's pretty much every exercise you could think of. Crystal, I do a backflip right now, I'm probably gonna crack myself, you know? But, and I did pull my groin, so it's like I gotta be very cautious with any type of explosive movement. So I know I can get this. Let me try and do this a little slower. Maybe then I can hold it better. Oh, there it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Crystal, what's up? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Just got to be careful, you know? But that felt a little bit better. But I got to make some sort of a goal today where it's like, okay, what do you want to do? Because I think I got like 20 something seconds already, but I want to be able to get like maybe closer to over 30 seconds, you know, before I go into back. Because in my head, it was like, last time I came here to the gym, well, I was in the other gym, and I did legs, right? I did glute work, I did hammies, I did calves, I did quads. I felt good. But it has then been a few days, and it's so brutally cold outside, because I'm up at these crazy hours, right? 2, 3, 4 in the morning. And we're talking about like 14 degrees outside. It's about to be 9 degrees outside. So it's really brutal. It's the type of temperature out here in New York where it's like, unless you really, really have to do something, you just don't want to do anything because it's so cold, you know? But tired. What's up? How you doing? You seem like you're focused right now, you know? It's a good thing. All right, here we go. So the last time I went slower, it kind of worked. Let's go slow then. Maybe I'm not ready for fast yet, you know? So, let's go slower then. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That felt pretty good. You know what? Let's leave it at that, you know? You found that funny? That rhymed too. Oh, this is strong. Okay. Let's go. There's a lot of like people's footsteps here from the snow. So, all right. That was cool. I enjoyed that. Let's get some work in. I'm gonna take it easy because now you got me over here checking myself out. Like, am I being indecent right now? Okay. Oops. Okay. So this way I knock out upper back and middle back at the same time. I love, because a lot of people enjoy the way lats look, because it gives you that that V shape up top. Or I tend to, V, Y, whatever you want to prefer to, compare it to. But yeah, the V is nice. Like when you have that cobra top. But what I really enjoy about a person's back, both both men and women, so it's not just a man thing, but like when you have that thick middle back, you got that nice split in the middle, and then it's like thick on both sides of the line in the middle, and it's like just nice thick shape right there. I enjoy that a lot, Like I said, both men and women. So this gives you that right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And really, any type of rowing is good for that, Any type of rowing is excellent for that. And yeah, you still get your lats in. That's a good thing. But you can definitely get good thickness to the middle by doing that, Especially if you do free weights, like bent over rows. And you could do machine work as well, whether it's cables or like Nautilus. But you could get good middle thickness by doing that, So up the lower trapezius, a little bit of latissimus dorsi, teres major, and I think it's like rhomboid. I think that's what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, that's nice. I like that squeeze. Hopefully you all are doing well, I usually do these to present some sort of inspiration. And if you're able to get inspired by some of these lives where we're just out here working out and doing what we need to do out here, it's a good thing, So hopefully this brings some inspiration for someone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh. That's exactly where I was saying. You feel it, Right there in the middle back. It's like a super zoom. Do a little bit more upper back. I've been hearing more and more people talk about the importance of doing pull downs but actually doing pull downs with the chin grip. So basically for like biceps, but you're going close grip, chin grip, which is underhand, and then you're just doing regular lat pull downs. But focus on the biceps, and it's supposed to be like a really powerful movement. I never really thought about it because I was always like, I didn't like the grip, you know, because when you have a straight bar like that, and then you're forced to like turn your wrist this way, and then grab, and it's heavy. It's very uncomfortable, you know. So that's why I always like stayed away from this exercise. But I guess so otherwise, yeah, this is a rather quick one. We just basically, let me see if I could like position this. Boom. Okay. So, you know what? I'm just gonna do two more things, and that's it. It's a done deal. I don't really need to do too much else, you know? Where is this machine? Oh, it's right there. I'm like, where is it? It's right in front of me. If I could just get this thing to stay put, that would be nice. There it goes. Yeah, so this right here, like, unless you go to like a specialty spot, and what I mean by specialty is like not really a franchise, you know? So this machine right here, I purchased this myself. I have two of them. And this is a seated calf machine for soleus. You're not gonna find this machine in a lot of franchises. Like you're not gonna find it in Planet Fitness or Blink, formerly Blink, now Pure Gym, right? It's one of those things where you have to modify a regular straight calf extension. Or if you're on a leg press machine, you have to modify the seat to where it goes all the way to like your 4'8", you know? And then it forces you to bend your knees, and then you could mimic this by modifying that, as opposed to like a place actually having this machine where like you're just not gonna find it, you know? And no one really uses this except me. I'm like the only one who uses this, you know? And I'm very appreciative because I know this is a rare item. So I'm always on this. And it's very important to use this because first, from a functional standpoint or perspective, if you're walking and you like roll your ankle, because this strengthens the tendons and ligaments around the joint, in this case the ankle, yeah, it works the soleus for sure. Secondarily, possibly it works the gastroc, but because it strengthens everything around the joint, if you roll your ankle, it's gonna be like a tight rubber band where it just bounces back. Like it's not going to result in a sprained ankle, right? So that's from a functional perspective, that's the benefit there. Secondarily, there are a lot of people who will do calf raises, but then they'll have like a little bit of development right under the knees. And then as it goes down towards the ankles, it's super skinny, right? So aesthetically speaking, when you do this right here, you won't get that look. You'll actually thicken the area near the, the ankles. And certain people, genetically, they need this more than anyone else aesthetically, symmetrically. So that's why I do this, because you'll have a lot of people from various ethnicities complain about how it's genetics. Yeah, it's genetics for certain things, but if you have an opportunity to work on certain things because you're equipped with the knowledge and the wisdom from experience, then you're able to actually combat that. And that's why I use this all the time. Probably do like 2 more sets here, and then after that, go right to probably some deadlifts. Done deal. Got it in, feel good. It's that easy, you know? Just show up, just get what you want to get, and keep it moving, you know? Just like that. And like I said, I'm very thankful, very appreciative, and I just want to keep it going. Like, I do these live streams again because I'm trying to inspire folks. Yeah, it's freezing outside, 20 degrees, you know, 20-something degrees. Of course, you don't feel like doing anything, but at the same time, if you just show up, just be present, you'll take care of the rest once you show up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, one more, and then we'll finish with deadlifts. Real quick routine today, you know? A little bit of back, a little bit of handstand work. That's it. Of course, I'm gonna do calves because, especially seated calves for soleus. That's it. Feel great. Last set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Now, I'm going to do some right here. Let me put this down a little bit. Boom. I'm just going to do some deadlifts, and it's a done deal. That's it. This is a cool little foam roller. I wish I could foam roll my groin right now because I pulled it, but it's one of those things. I've been stretching it. It's not really doing anything, so it's one of those things where I just have to let it pass, you know? So I'm going to take this off for right now and just get a few sets. This is not very heavy because these look like very light weights. So I'll just, I just got to be careful because, like I said, I pulled my groin. So I have to make sure this doesn't, regardless of how light the weight is. Whoa. It wasn't bad. I'll do a few more sets, and then that's it. No hands, dude. Wow. That's like no hands, ma. What's up? How you doing? You know what? I'll do 2 more sets of this, and then I will just finish how I started. I started with handstands. I'll finish with handstands. So let's do it. Do one more set. Crystal, what's up? Oh, I'm deadlifting very lightweight right now. I pulled my groin, so I'm just doing something very light because I literally feel the pain right here. So I don't want to like aggravate anything. I'm just gonna do one. This is very light. I don't even know what the weight is because it was left here. So I think someone was using it for hip thrust. So I'm just doing this weight just to do something for lower back. Yeah, I could do some of these. Let me see if you could see from here. Yeah, I could literally. Hey, thanks, John. Appreciate that. So what I could do on this last set, like because I just finished doing calves, I could literally come here, and I could just use this as an exhaust. Damn, my freaking junk is getting crushed. It's like, you gotta move, buddy. There. Okay, so that's like the pre-exhaust. And then from there, we'll go right to deadlifts. Okay, put this back on for whoever's using it, and then we'll finish how we started, Boom, right here. Facundo, Caro, what's up? How you doing? Welcome. Okay. So, John, as you can see, I'm at home base right now. Like, there's nobody else here. I could literally be in here training butt ass if I wanted to, right? But the reason why I'm training that way is because I want to make it a little challenging, Oh, okay, cool. Argentina in the place. So I want to make it a little more challenging as far as breathing. So it's like, you ever see those guys or guys and gals that like use certain masks for like to replicate high altitudes? So that's that's kind of like what I'm mimicking here, you know. Otherwise, if I use a mask outdoors, it's because I'm generally, it's not necessarily like COVID stare anymore. Hopefully I didn't get banned or anything like that for saying that word, but hey, listen, I want no drama. But hopefully during like, because during the pandemic, we're years like past that, right? For whatever that was. So right now, I'm usually around a bunch of folks who may or may not be sick. So I try and, if they're coughing and whatever, I just try and like, it's like people who are in hospitals. You wouldn't ask them, right? Why are you wearing a mask in a hospital, right? Pre-pandemic or even post-pandemic, they still wear them, right? Because they're around like certain areas where they're just like, let me be as sterile as possible. So that's how I kind of move. Like I move around a lot of folks sometimes when it's crowded, and I start thinking to myself, damn, you're coughing a lot. So I'll quickly just whoop, cover up real quick. But in here, I do it because I'm trying to obstruct, like I'm trying to make my breathing, like to make it a little bit more challenging. Like I said, I'm going to finish how I started. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I might do like 2 more sets of that, and then we're going. Yeah, I'm safe, meaning like when I'm around people I think are sick, because this is flu season regardless. So safe meaning like when I'm outside, it's for that purpose. In here, it's not because I'm like trying to be safe. Because chances are, if I'm in a franchise gym, I'm probably not putting a mask on. This is home base. This is mine. So it's like I do what I want, you know. So I'm just like, let me make it a little bit more challenging for myself. Do a couple more sets here, and then that's it. Done deal. Finish strong. We knocked out a quick little back routine, got it done, and then we knocked out calves. We did some handstands. Done deal. All right, second to last set here. Seems like when I do, hopefully I didn't just jinx it, but it seems like when I go a little slower, I have more control. So that's telling me I'm not quite ready yet to go faster. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We'll do one more set, and then it's a done deal. Feels good. I'm glad I showed up. Glad I came out here. And let me jump on the scale real quick, because I'm starting to look a little thicker, I think. And I just came off of a fast too, so I think I'm getting a little, putting on a little weight. Yes, I am. I just looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, I think I'm putting on a little weight. I put on about like a few pounds. I still have my definition, so it's good. I want to be able to put on like maybe Brazil. It looks like Brazil anyway in the building. What's up? How you doing? Argentina, Brazil. Okay. Welcome. Welcome. So I wanted to put on like 6, 7 pounds. So it looks like I put on the majority of that weight. I could still put on like more weight, not to be greedy or, I'm trying to get too big or anything like that. But I think I could put on like another 6, 7 pounds and still be good, I would prefer the weight goes to, I know it's gonna go everywhere, but I would prefer it go to my back and to like my legs and glutes and all that. So I don't really care too much about it going right to my chest, my shoulders, and my arms, like most men. No, I'd rather it go to my legs and my back. And then a little bit goes to my upper body. That's cool too. All right, last set. Yeah, like 6 or 7 more pounds. I think that's pretty good, I think it's a pretty good weight. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could put on like 10, 15 pounds from here, and I'm sure it'll be fine. But I think another 6 to 7 pounds be good. All right, here we go. Last set. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's it, Feel good. Done deal. That's really it, Now, you got to get ready because while you folks are in Argentina and, Brazil and all those kind of places, out here, it's freezing. And we just had a winter storm with a lot of snow, unfortunately. So, we have to deal with that. You can see I have my thermal pants too underneath. It's all thermal. T-shirt under there. I'm dressed in layers. And then I put this hoodie on over that. And then on top of that, I put another hoodie on, And then after that, I put another coat on. It's interesting. I have so many clothes I don't wear. I wind up wearing the same things. And when I feel like I've overworn certain things, just wash it and just keep wearing it, I'm like one of those very simple people. Once I like something, I don't even want to change, I'll just keep wearing it over and over and over and over and over. But just want to say thank you for coming out, checking in, chiming in. Let me just take this out. Okay. And, I appreciate your time. Hopefully you got some value out of this. Hopefully it was inspiring. And like I said, quiet day. Just want to get in here and, get busy. You know how I know I gained weight? Because this stuff is starting to look tight on me, Another 6, 7 pounds, this is gonna look really tight on me. So that's how I know I'm gaining weight, which is a good thing. Because I won't let myself get sloppy. And And that's it. That is it. Done deal. We're gonna. Yeah, it's always an adventure, Gage. You know, always an adventure. And you know what? The adventures are gonna get way cooler. I can assure that. Just gotta be patient. Just gotta wait. And we'll make sure. Yeah, I was just locking up. And just finished the workout. And that's it. Oh. I wasn't very scared. You know, when I got company. Why should I be scared if I have company, you know? There's no need to be scared. So, yeah, that's really it, you know? Wow, 30 degrees outside. When I first left, when the sun was still out, it was 39 degrees. And now it's 30 degrees. Yeah, I don't John, I don't get very distracted easily, you know? I'm very focused, and you know, I'm very much like, I stay on point, you know? Like if I have something in my head that I have to get done, I'm not going to be distracted, you know? I'm just not. Like I can multitask. So as a result, if I multitask, I've been multitasking for years and years and years. So, and like I said, I appreciate the company. You know, that's why I do these live streams. I'm hoping to inspire others, but at the same time, I enjoy the company, you know? And like I always say, it's not just the folks that are coming in here and complimenting or coming in with positive energy, even the trolls, you know, I don't mind. Because I've said this before. Yeah, you could come in with like nasty energy, you could come in with negative energy. And it's generally not like, it's not fun, obviously. It's not cool. It's not like, you know, I appreciate someone bashing me or someone calling me, you know, names or anything like that. Of course, I don't like it, but at least you have a personality. And I'm not going to ban you. I'm not going to, you know, kick you out. I'm not going to, you know, block you or anything like that. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. I just respect that if this is what's on your mind and this is what you think and that's what you want to say, then you know what? Come back and keep saying it. If you want to say nasty things about me every single live stream, feel free. You know, of course, I'm not going to really love it, but at least you have a pulse. At least you're saying something, you know? So I can appreciate that. Now, don't get me wrong. If people, you know, like someone was just honking the horn on the road, like, you know, obnoxiously. Now, if you come in here and you're being obnoxious, I'm still not going to block you or ban you. But it's like, come on, dude. Or come on, miss. Like, why? You know, that's like in certain countries, right? Like India, for example. Like people honk their horns for anything. It's like a language that they speak.
to one another through the roads. You know, it's like being out here where it's so much more quiet. It's 7:30 in the evening out here, and it's like ghost town. Like, so that honk right there was just like, what are you doing? You know, but meanwhile over there in India, it's like honk, 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 all crazy. You know, that would be crazy culture shock just to go through that. It's like, what is going on here? You know, you have to learn to. So then, like, if I went through that, and then I come here and it's so quiet, I'd have a different level of like appreciation for quiet. You know, so everywhere you go, the culture is kind of different, and that's something I can appreciate. So likewise, if people come in here and they're the equivalent of honking all the time, it's like, okay, you know, I'm not what I'm gonna. Just like if I was experiencing culture shock in whatever environment, I would have to learn to deal with it. What's up, Events? How you doing? Good to see you back. I would just deal with it. You know, I would just be like, okay, this is what's happening. And then as a result, I would get used to it, and then I would be like, okay, this is this is what I have to learn to deal with right now. And in the meantime, I'd be like, okay, I would just I would just be like, okay, what else do I have to what else do I have to swerve, and what else do I have to engage with? What are you apologizing for, the chorale? I'm not sure why you're you know, you folks are. Oh, that's all right. Well, you're here now, right? And that's what's important. And you know what? As a result, because that's how you feel, then like I was thinking, should I wrap it up, or should I, what should I do? I think I'm gonna stay on for a little bit longer. So now I'm gonna stay on for a bit. You know. So just give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay. Um, Donna, what's up? Hold that thought. I'll be right back. What did I miss? What did I miss? What, like, who has to be patient? You know, I'm gonna put this on. Matter of fact, I don't want to put the Mac. Damn, that's a big truck. Look at the size of this thing. Wide load. That you can't even see it because it is what it is. But that was a big truck. But yeah, appreciate it, Don. I'm gonna take this magnet off, and I'm just gonna put a clip on. I used a magnet for the workout. That was what I used it for, because it's it won't get in the way, and it's not weighty, you know. So this I can attach. Let me see. I think I will put this right here. This is where I usually put it. That's good. All right, okay. You can hear me, right? It's not muffled. Let me know if you can hear me just fine. Okay. So, okay, cool. How's Cali life treating you? And how's it going out there? How's everything in close to the Bay Area, and Sacramento and San Francisco and all of that, you know? No, actually, I think you're in the South, right? Did you say you were in the South? So that would be like, let's see, yeah, 64 degrees, right? Yeah, you're more than double right now. I know it's 446 over there, Yosemite. Okay, so it's 445 right now and 64 degrees. It's 746 over here and 30 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, Decorah, sorry, New Jersey. That's cool. New Jersey is always, it's always great. How's Jersey on this Monday? Yeah, so today's the 19th. I was trying to figure that out during the live stream. I was like, it's the 20th, so it's definitely the 19th. And yeah, I feel good. I had a little bit of a back and handstand routine, did a little bit of calf work. Feel good, feel excellent, you know? And now I'm going to do, oh, okay, yeah. I think about Jersey sometimes, because Jersey is one of those states where it's like, it's so close in proximity to New York, and it's the tri-state, and at the same time, it's like, it's one of those things where it's still New England, but it's so close to, like, because I think the southern part of Pennsylvania is getting really close to, like, the northernmost parts of the South, actually, you know? So Jersey, if you go into southern Jersey, you're getting close to, like, yeah. So, like, the southernmost parts of Pennsylvania are somewhat close to the northernmost parts of what's considered the South, you know? So that's interesting, right? Now, Jersey, again, tri-state, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, right? So it's not only the tri-state, but I think it's still considered possibly New England. I'm not sure. But if it's still New England, it's one of those things where it's like, are you considered New England, but then are you almost the South at the same time? That's nuts, you know? That's a Google question. I don't know if Jersey is considered part of New England, you know? But it's also like, you know, south of New York. So it's one of those things. Now, I always think about New York and how right now, the week of the 20s in January, going towards the very end of this month, is like the most brutal time in New York. So this is the worst. This is the bottom right here of winter, right? And as a result, it's like that is the one thing about New York that's like, it's just the weather, you know? The weather is just so, oh man. Because it's 31 degrees right now at 7:48 p.m. And we're this whole week, the nighttime lows are in the teens. And at the same time, we're going, like 2 of those days are going to be in the single digits. Like, who wants that? Like, you might even be one of those people who just likes it. You like it cold. Okay, you like it cold? You like it at single digits cold? I doubt it, because who likes single digits? Because you might be one of those people, well, I like to dress in layers, you know? Oh, yeah? So you're outside and when it's 8 degrees? Doubt it. So that's the only thing about New York that I'm just like, oh, man, this is just a little, it's a little bit more than just a bit much, you know? Jason, I'm not but first off, welcome, greetings to you, and I'm not exactly sure. I would think minimum wage out here is maybe 17, 16, 17, and then most places they may offer you between, I would say, 17 to 19. You say New York or New York City? Because New York City, I would say like 17, 18, 19, somewhere in that range. You know, I'm not 100% sure. But I would say, I would think that's what it is. It's definitely, you know, because you have to think, right? Especially as you get close to like New York City, it's just not, it's not it. It's just not out here. It's pretty ridiculous. Now, there's the saying, right? If you can make it in New York, places in New York that are very expensive, anywhere, right? And that's mainly due to cost of living and how fast life is out here. But it's just one of those things where it's like, oh man, like in order to make it out here, you have to be quite wealthy in comparison to what people think is like a relatively good wage annually in other places, like maybe, you know, like the Carolinas, Georgia, you know, different places. Cali is the same thing. California is like that as well, like New York, where it's just like the amount of money you would have to be raking in, however it comes to you, has to be significantly high to be able to live comfortably out here in New York or California, you know? So driving, it depends. Jason, you're asking about New York. If you don't mind being a little bit more specific, because this channel revolves around New York City, Westchester County, Rockland, Orange, Putnam, right? So those areas, right? And when I say New York City, it's rare that I go to Staten Island, but Long Island, I frequent sometimes. But generally speaking, I'm in the Bronx. Sometimes I go into Manhattan, Harlem, Midtown, Uptown. I'll go as deep as the Village. Otherwise, I go to Brooklyn, and sometimes I go to Queens, right? So it depends on where we're talking about, right? Because if you're talking about Westchester, you don't really have to worry about traffic too much. And aside from maybe like 2 different times, and you would know what those 2 times are, right? You would think that 10:30 a.m. That's one time. And then the other time would be anywhere from like 4:30 to like 6 p.m. Those are the two times. And obviously it's related to work, school. Those are the times where it's hectic, right? But relatively speaking, in general, BX, the Bronx, you're not really dealing with much traffic in most places. There's only like 3 or 4 places that I can think of that have traffic. One of those places is on the major Deegan Expressway, which is also known as 87, whether you're going north or south. So if you're coming from Yonkers and you're going into the Bronx, that's 87 South, right? So when you pass the exit on 87 South going towards New Jersey, that place almost always has traffic, right? So around there, you're going to be dealing with hella traffic, right? There are also a couple other places, like near Hunts Point is another place. There's also another area, I forget what freeway that is. They're usually around certain freeways, right? Or highways. Indiana, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the Bronx right now. I'm on Gun Hill. Like, if you want to take a look, right, you can see, right? Forgive the glare, but this is Gun Hill right here. So you can see it's the 7 o'clock hour. You can see there's no real traffic here. It's nothing crazy, You don't have to worry about anything here. But now, like I said, I don't know exactly where you're talking about when it comes to New York, but nightlife? What are you interested in? What are you like? Come on, bro. Like nightlife? New York City? Like, what do you mean, nightlife? Like, the question is, what are you looking for? What are you interested in? Like, there's nothing that's off the table, nightlife out here, So it's like there's nothing off the table, Like, if you're nightlife, it's not like going to another country or going to a state where it's just like, is there a nightlife? And what isn't there, nightlife-wise, in New York City, So I think that pretty much sums it all up as far as nightlife. Like, nightlife is like, I could be out here at 2:30 in the morning and it legit looks like it's 12:30 in the afternoon. Like sometimes like I've been doing this for years and years and years, right? Sometimes it blows me away because it's just like, how? I literally put out a short. All right, DeCaro, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Take care. Like, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And like the salon was open. And I put a shorts out on like how? How you get, like, what clients come in at that time? Barbershops are open, It's like, all these places are open, especially at like 1:30 in the morning. If it's like 1:30 in the morning, yeah, like everything is open. 2 o'clock in the morning, things are starting to close. I would say quiet time out here in the BX is like 3:30 in the morning, maybe 4. And then quiet time is only for like an hour and a half. And then boom, right around 5 o'clock, everything's open again or starting to open. So that's just how, there is really no quiet time, Yeah, I like Wonders of the World. I used to like rock my beard in a lot of different ways, but I got so caught up with the everyday grind of being focused as far as just making it, you know? When it comes to financial freedom, I'm so focused that it's like I'm messy right now, you know? As far as like appearance, I'm not saying I don't care if like obviously I work out, right? But that's a different type of like I guess portrayal of appearance, right? But when it comes to like my overall aesthetics, my looks, I'm just on that type of like I just see one thing and I'm so focused that it's like I don't even think about anything else, you know? Cuz it's like that's where all my energy is. I'm on that path and I know what it takes. It takes a lot of dedication, a lot of discipline, and a lot of sacrifice. So that's why I'm just like, you know, for all the different ways I probably experimented at other times, now it's just like, I don't see anything else but that goal, you know? So I'm just like, screw it, you know? But yeah, so wonders of the world, that's usually how the quote unquote stages of growth go for most strands of hair. You know, it goes, generally speaking, up to about 5.5 years. And it goes through like different stages throughout those 5.5 years, where there's like a dormant stage, there's a growing stage, there's like different stages, right, of development. And like I used to think that because after, generally speaking, after like 5.5 years, the hair will fall out and then it will regrow, right? These aren't dreads, right? And no disrespect to anyone who has dreads, but this is from my root, right? And it goes down to my knees. These hairs go down to my knees. And I used to think like my hair is just gonna fall out and then it's gonna regrow. But it kept growing and growing and growing. And like I said, these aren't dreads. So like when I take this out, I take a shower, I wash my hair and I let it all out and it covers my whole beard. I mean, excuse me, it covers my whole body. Like it literally poofs out this way, covers my whole torso, and like I can grab any one hair, which is down to my knees, and like when I pull on it, it's yanking like this. So it didn't get stuck anywhere, and I picked my hair out, so all of it is there, right? And it's crazy. Like years later, like I thought when it was like this long, right? Boom, it was gonna like, okay, I'm already at like year 3, 4, 5, and it's like maybe up to here, but it just kept going and going and going, and it wasn't falling out. So I was like, what the heck? And now it's up to my knees, and it's like, I don't know how many inches that is, because I'm not that tall, but it's like, it's gotta be a ridiculous length, you know, for it to be down to my knees. And because people stop me all the time out here in the streets and they're like, yo, you should join a contest. You should like Guinness Book of World Records. You know, you should do those beard shows. They award you with money and all that. I'm just like, I'm just not interested, you know? It's like when you mention, yo, what if you put your beard in like a different style? I'm not really interested, you know, because I'm just so focused on the grind. But oh, DeCaro, I appreciate that, you know. I hope yeah, so I'll keep that in mind. I usually try to not, you know, I try to be mindful because I know that not every person who comes in here is, how do you say, like, I'm very mindful, you know. So hopefully if your parents ever tune in, I would not want your parents to, because if in their mind they were like, what is my child watching, you know? And I'm not gonna say I'm just gonna be overly, like commercial and like I'm not the Jackie Chan, I'm the Jet Li. So no matter what, if it gets racy or if it gets crazy, I'm gonna get crazy and I'm gonna get racy. But for the most part, I'm still mindful, So if they came in and they were curious to see, hopefully I didn't have them say like, don't ever watch that again, Hopefully I provided something that was not only inspirational, but it provided some sort of sustenance, some sort of substance, But yeah, well, there's like, it's definitely at least a good 3 feet, So I agree there. It's a crazy length. It's like I said, people stop me all the time and they're just like, what is going on? Like, is that thing gonna, like, is it gonna go down to the floor? Like, hey, if it goes down to the floor, it goes down to the floor. We let it be, So I don't know if Jason's still here, but hopefully that answered your questions on New York. Donna, I agree with you on Cali. Like, it's ridiculous, There's no other way to describe it. Like, the money is something else, But like I said, when it comes down to it, I hope well, beyond just hope, because I'm confident in my head, in my mind, like that no matter what, it's going to get done. But like I said, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, And with that being said, 32 degrees outside. I think I'm going to end on that. We're over an hour. Usually I try and, make these go for about an hour and 15 minutes or so. And it looks like I've hit that. I did everything I was supposed to do. I feel good. And yeah, I just wanted to check in, do a quick back workout, handstands. I did a little bit of calves, had a little conversation. You see how cold it is. And we're good. I appreciate every person who checked in, chimed in, stopped by. And like I always say, I appreciate your time. I value your time. And yeah, we'll do this again soon. And until the next time, take care.